Good evening, Los Santos. Chester Bedingfield, your favorite reporter, here again for a nightly report. So, what we have going on today is the coverage of the sheriff debate. So, the sheriff debate, of course, is up between Mateo Cruz and Matt Caruso. And at the moment, hello? Yes. Okay. Really? All right. Sounds good. So turns out that Matt Caruso has dropped out of the race. So I guess what we'll do is more or less like a an acceptance speech from Matteo. So yeah, Sheriff Matteo is the winner. We'll tune into the actual speech.
All right, can everybody hear me okay on radio?
Yep.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so today obviously was going to be the debate for the sheriff election, but Caruso stepped down. He decided that Matteo would be the better choice. Congratulations, Mr. Matteo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. So obviously I did have a couple of questions lined up for the debate, but obviously you will be the only person to answer them now that you are stepping in the role. So what we'll do is, like I said, we'll do about 10 or so questions, and then we will have the community open up to ask their own questions as well. That way they can just get to know you as a candidate. Obviously, voting won't happen, but now they will actually get some information helpful to just, see your perspective on things and how you are as a sheriff. So the first thing we'll do, Mr. Matteo, could you please introduce yourself and give a short description of what you stand for?
Yeah, so my name is Mateo Cruz. I've been with BCSO since the start of BCSO. I was brought into BCSO as a cadet. And since then, I've worked my way up to become the undersheriff, which has been a very long time. But here's where I am at, and I hope to keep things moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. That was beautiful. Next question for you. What does officer accountability mean to you, in your own words?
Officer accountability to me, it just means taking ownership of anything that goes on out in the field. That for any deputies, any SAHP troopers, any LSPD officers. Something happens out in the field, whether it be right or wrong. I believe that whoever is responsible should always take ownership. Take what's the correct word to use?
Basically, just
take
own up to their
liability
actions.
for it.
Right. Yeah, I would say that's a great definition. I appreciate your input on that. Next question. Let's say that a citizen were to file a serious complaint about an officer. How would you follow up if that officer denies the allegation?
The way I would do things is definitely, obviously, ask the officer, deputy, or trooper that's involved, get their side, and then I would follow up with whether the case be if I'm talking to a lawyer or the civilian themselves, so the citizen of Los Santos. I would follow them and make sure to get both sides of the story and move on from there. About it, unless there was anything else. I'd get their contact information and stuff like that. So.
Right, pretty much just following the formal process, I would imagine.
Correct.
Next up, what would you consider to be the most noticeable change to the department if when you become elected?
The most noticeable thing is I'm going to try to have a more active sheriff station. I want, my deputies to be clocked in and helping out the citizens of Los Santos as well as Blaine County and everything like that. So I want them to be respectful towards the citizens and everything like that. whether if the citizen's in the right or the wrong. I want my deputies to be respectful.
Right, absolutely. Keeping that relationship between the departments and citizens to make sure everything stays positive, I'd imagine.
Correct.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, sir. When it comes to how an officer is trained, is there anything that you would change about that process or anything that you would modify?
I personally like to do one-on-ones with my deputies. I just want to make sure they're being accountable for everything they do. I try to teach them the best I can to my ability to follow, at least in my footsteps, or if not, one of my higher deputies. I try to get them to, just be respectful towards the citizens and, have good faith in the community.
Absolutely. Well put. Well put. Absolutely.
Oh, man. Holy shit, I hit the jackpot.
Hey, sir, what is that in your hands? It's really shiny.
It's mine. I found me a couple diamond rings.
Oh, wow. I mean, do you mind if I, give you a couple of hundred just to take it off your hands?
You might dress nice, but you're not fooling me. I'd rather cut out the middleman and go straight to North Pond over at Postal 675. They guarantee the best prices in town.
Well, since you put it that way, maybe I should head down there with you because I need to find out how much I can get for selling my ex-wife's ring.
Sure, let's go.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Next question. What is your approach to bridging the gap between all PD departments? Obviously, we've had some input in the past about how there's some separation between LSPD, the Sheriff's Department, and state troopers. What would be your approach to bridging that gap?
Well, truth be told, there was a little bit of history between all three departments, but we are slowly regaining everything back to the way things were. So my thing is just working well with the heads of LSPD and the SAHP. I feel like we're going in the right direction currently as we stand now. As long as we are all fair, treat each other fairly within the departments and the agencies, I feel like everything's going in the correct path. So.
Absolutely, I would agree. Thank you so much. Next question is more related to citizens. Do you consider it important that citizens are able to own and carry their own firearms?
I am 100% for it. I will say that, I'm strong belief, when people have the right to bear arms. So, I hope to keep it that way, and hopefully the citizens understand that.
Thank you for your input. And then a follow-up question to that would be, so would you support increasing or decreasing weapon restrictions? I'd imagine decreasing.
Well, currently as it stands, civilians aren't allowed to carry long barrel rifles or shotguns in city limits, so that'd be the city of Los Santos. But out in Blaine County and Toledo, you are allowed to. I feel like that's a pretty fair rule, kind of a law, not really necessarily law, but I feel like that's pretty fair for the civilians. If anybody would want to change that, I feel like they should bring it up to city council and mayor's office and everything like that, so we can have a talk about it. But right now, I enjoy and like the way it stands.
Absolutely. Thank you for that as well. So at this moment, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and open this up to community questions. If any of you guys in the audience there would like to ask Mateo any questions of your own, you can either come up here to the stage or just say it on the radio.
I know we have a large crowd tonight. Anybody want to ask any questions for our Sheriff-elect.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm gay.
So that would be a statement.
Okay.
Okay.
For those that not hear that on the radio, Fernando just wanted to mention that he is gay. That is not a question, but we will take that as input. Thank you, sir. All right. I'll assume that nobody else at the moment would like to ask any questions. That is fine. I'm sure citizens will be able to get in contact with you as you are in your elected position. So the final question to close out the night. Mr. Mateo, what is one absolute promise that you can make after taking office?
One promise I can make is I will have my deputies currently, I'll have them reach out to the communities, restaurants and everything, businesses, reach out to them and see if we can set up some kind of a gathering, like a little community thing, as my fellow colleague and Commander Caruso has started a COPS, which is a community. It was like a community relations kind of thing. He started it, and I'm gonna keep following with that he has placed. So be ready for any kind of things that BCSO have with businesses, and just build a better relationship with the community. So.
Right. Yeah, not a bad idea. Ideally, the sheriff's department, on a regular basis, reaching out to business owners, pillars of the community, and just getting their input about, the perspective on how things are going, I would imagine. Beautiful. All right. So at this time, if you'd like to say any closing arguments as to why, obviously you have no opposition, but as to why you are qualified as sheriff, and just ideally any further things you'd like to say to everybody watching today.
Yeah, I believe I'm a qualified fit for the sheriff position. I've been with BCSO since the start of it. I have been through the very bottom and worked my way up. I've been through the thick and thin of everything. I've been through multiple LSPD chiefs. And I follow in the footsteps of my my fellow sheriff that was involved, which would be Sheriff Hawk. He showed me the correct ways, as well as some other deputies took me in, and I plan to follow in their footsteps and just do a little bit better.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out here tonight. We are now looking at the sheriff-elect, Mateo Cruz. Congratulations again, sir. This was Chester Bedingfield with Weasel News for the host of the Sheriff Acceptance Speech. Everybody in Los Santos, you guys have a great rest of your night, and stay safe out there.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations again to Sheriff Mateo Cruz for winning the election by default. Coming up later in the week, we will have the mayoral election. That'll be a great one, as that one is expected to be an actual debate. Stay tuned and stay safe. Again, Los Santos.